Hello and welcome to our first ever podcast. As this is our first ever podcast, there is a few things that went wrong. Some of the audio isn't the best quality throughout the podcast, but I thought it would have been a bit of a waste not to share it because it is such a good conversation and we can probably learn from this, rewatch it and try and get better as we go along. We will have another podcast coming out on this channel on Tuesday, so make sure to watch out for that. So subscribe and click the bell button so you can listen to it as soon as it comes out. It would also be great if you could comment down below and tell us which kind of things you want to see in this podcast and in this YouTube channel in general. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Our first ever one. Enjoy. Because otherwise, like, the theory of it, if anybody just tries to understand it through theory, like you would science theory, like you wouldn't get anywhere near it. So it comes through that belief and openness that you do get that wisdom. So it switched to my brother's speaker in the shower, and then he was just having a shower, and then all of a sudden he came, "I am not the body."
Probably thought God was speaking to him or something.
He was like, "What the hell is going on?" You see yourself as something beyond, something infinite that is listening to that, and that way you can, that awareness and that deeper self isn't affected by those feelings and thoughts.
That's such a hard process, and it will be like microscopic chips. For me, I know it's an effort, so I don't interact with it because I know it's like such a big challenge.
Yeah.
You have to face it, and it will be worth it.
Welcome to my van.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, this is a van, which is going to be our future podcast studio. It's still in a work in progress at the minute. We've got all the insulation in and a bit of the cladding, so hopefully in the next few episodes you're going to see the evolution of our van and hopefully a bit better soundproofing as well. We're noobs at our audio production, so we're still learning. Hopefully it sounds okay.
It's
It doesn't sound horrible.
That's not
Yeah, we've got 2 mics, we've got a laptop, we've got a camera rolling. Hopefully it doesn't turn off, which it probably will.
Is it rolling?
I hope so. I pressed record, so
Okay.
we should have probably turned the thing around, but oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just get into it.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk today about the mind, what is the mind, how we can just understand more and like be more aware of it in our everyday life and make our lives better, basically. So we're just going to try and unpack our personal experiences and try and have a debate about it and have some fun.
Try and be critical of each other.
Yeah, I think that's the way.
Yeah, dig deep.
Yeah. We also need to remember not to fidget because that's so annoying.
I'm really bad at it though.
Okay. I
feel like you need, in the psychiatric wards where they're just wrapped up in one of those things, you need one of them for me.
Yeah, like a straitjacket.
Yeah.
Just so you don't
fidget
move.
way too much.
Yeah,
Right.
but we gotta use our minds. Whoa,
Shit.
I'm getting deep already.
You have to be conscious of your movement.
You have to be conscious of your movement. Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, just.
But I don't really want to go deep on like random crap that's not useful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just.
Yeah, I'm getting way too much stuff stuck in my head already.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Probably just chatting about what the mind is then, and.
Yeah, I mean that's a good place to start. I mean, everybody's got a mind, so they should know what it is, but it's kind of almost kind of like an illusion almost, because you say it's a mind, but where is it?
Yeah.
As that Pixie song says. Where is my mind?
Should be the intro.
Yeah. But where is your mind? Like, you don't know where it is. It's kind of like, is it in your brain?
Well, your mind is in your brain though, surely.
But like, some people say that, like, that your mind is kind of just...
Oh, I'm gonna get covered.
I mean,
but your consciousness is the thing that people don't know where it is, and they always predict and guess if it's like in the pineal gland or whatever.
In the pineal gland?
Yeah, the pineal gland.
Isn't that in your penis?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It sounds like it.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, no,
Wait, am I saying that right? It's probably not even right.
The pineal gland. I'm not sure.
It's pineal?
Yeah, I'm
pineal?
not sure. I'll take your word for it.
No, but like the consciousness, everyone wonders where it is because that's kind of your soul as well.
Yeah, but nobody has been able to pinpoint it yet.
No.
It's kind of like just
but
a mystery
that's
almost.
separate from the mind. Like, is the mind not your brain? So it's the thing it can collect as you're growing up. All the information, like the person you become is all the information that's collecting in your brain.
I believe that, like, the consciousness is kind of like a step back from the mind. The mind is kind of like all the thoughts and emotions and kind of that kind of running commentary in your mind, in your head, kind of. So like when you go like, oh, I'm hungry now, I want to go get some food, I feel like having some pizza tonight. Is Domino's open? Do they order online?
Yeah.
Like your mind has this running commentary where it just goes and goes and goes. Whereas I feel like your consciousness is almost the one that's listening. That's how I see it. So like the consciousness is the thing that's taking the step back and kind of observing the mind. So when like an emotion comes into your body, so like say if you're really fearful of doing a podcast, then it comes into your mind first, and then your mind's kind of like, oh fuck, what do I do with this? How do I compute this?
But like, you know the thing where we say like subconscious mind, conscious mind, is that even the consciousness though? Because that's still the mind, and that running commentary, can't you like, because you say that's the running commentary, would you say that's subconscious?
I would say, yeah, it's subconscious, because it doesn't stop. Like you don't have any control over it.
Yeah.
It kind of just always carries on going. But like, your conscious mind is your kind of response to that.
Yeah, and then it's your strength to actually respond and build that conscious mind. So that is consciousness.
Yeah.
That other part of the mind.
Yeah.
You'd say. It's just not very active.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because I think in this day and age we're not connecting with that conscious mind.
No.
Like we're mostly in our unconscious mind, which is just kind of like that running commentary. That's just always there.
I don't think most people have built up the capacity to actually use, like it's like a muscle, that actual conscious mind, and I guess people literally just want to listen to the unconscious mind as well. They won't question anything, and to the point they might even think they're making the decisions, when it's just that mind constantly running and dictating everything.
I think the problem is when people have like build an identity around the mind and kind of the functions in the mind, like the running commentary. So they believe that they are the ones that is thinking, like I want pizza.
Yeah.
Where's Domino's? Kind of that kind of thing. But I think the real you, the pure self, is behind that in the consciousness. The one that's listening to it.
Yeah. Like the observer.
The observer.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense to me, because like the action and response, like you normally like a response to something that happens is kind of like a conscious response almost, and
I don't know if it can be because a lot of the time you're going around your day-to-day activities and so much has become normal that it does become just an automatic response. Like most of our responses could be said to just be automatic, even if you think you're awake. I'd say I go around my day, and when days go quick, I guess it is when you're not conscious. And you're brainlessly going through everything, and because you're on autopilot, you just don't even notice.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is weird that, and it is scary.
Yeah.
So like, say you drive to work and you know the route off by heart. Yeah. Your mind just goes like, okay, I know this, and then it just goes.
Oh yeah, and then you arrive. And
then just like, what the hell just happened? Like, have I been awake for the whole time that I've been driving? I don't know.
Yeah, it is quite scary because, like, that's quite an animalistic way to live. Just going, like, that's the innate thing in us that's keeping us alive and drives us through life. But we're more capable of that now, but it's scary that we still live in that way to the point we're just letting life drift past us because we are just in that unconscious state most of the time.
Yeah. But I think we need to move into like a state where we're kind of like, instead of like just like being unconscious and driving to work and then not seeing anything, you just like blink and you're there, like just acknowledge like the trees like that are going past,
just
or like
awareness.
just like see the people walking on, just kind of like see, like be really unjudging in your awareness and kind of look at things for what they actually are, rather than just.
Well, yeah, because if you're actually aware, even though you are going to the same job, blah blah blah, you're still, every single moment that you're going through is always new, no matter what. Everything's new, and it should be amazing. You're still living life, but for some reason we just can't fathom it and decide to just tone it down. Don't even think in that kind of way, which is sad. So I feel like you miss so much of life. And maybe you'd live a different life if you were thinking like that. Maybe that's why we go around unconscious. You can't be going to a job consciously, or else you'd never want to do it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I suppose you can. It might. I mean, it depends what kind of job you're doing. Like, I feel like you can still, like, be really conscious in a situation and really, like, enjoy the job, even if it's like shit. Like, I feel like. If like a guru like was like a bin man or something like that, he would like still be able to make it like in a really enriching experience just because of his mindset and like his connection to his deeper self.
Do you think though?
I think so.
Like repeatedly, if you had to go take bins out.
I mean, but like the thing is, like in monasteries and stuff like in monasteries and stuff like that, they have like service hours, so they wake up really early in the morning and like meditate and do yoga, and then at like 10 o'clock they do chores like like for most of the day, so just like cleaning, like just working on farms, like doing anything, and that's like part of a monk's like daily ritual.
What, to live why do they actually do that though?
It's like a part of like humbling themselves and kind of like serving others in like a simple way, like keeping stuff clean, like it's kind of like fulfilling.
Yeah, so they're actually getting fulfillment from it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're actively doing a service for other people.
Okay, yeah. I guess people just have to try and see the fulfillment in whatever they do.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can. I think you can. It is possible to kind of take fulfillment out of any situation. Yeah,
you just need enough awareness to have it.
But the trouble is actually generating that awareness, which is like a long journey to kind of focus that awareness on and be able to generate that much energy from daily life. It's kind of like a long-term kind of thing.
It's really hard. Well, your brain uses so much energy.
Yeah.
And if you're then trying to direct that energy into something you've never done before, and it is a lot of effort. I just don't understand where you'd get that energy from.
I mean, I think you get that from like doing stuff that you love, so like, or like doing yoga and meditation, like really being open to like the environment and kind of how you live your life. Like, if you're like truly open, then you become you just like, what am I trying to say? Just energy kind of gravitates towards you if you do live that open life. Energy just it just happens.
So you'd say you could actually, by living in a certain way with a certain mindset, you kind of energy would gravitate towards you.
Yeah.
From maybe within yourself or outside as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is doing what you love doing. So say if that's like spending time with family, you can get your energy up really high. Like if I like spend like a whole weekend just like chilling with my family, just having loads of fun, like going out for meals, like really bonding with them, then brings my energy to 100,
Yeah.
and I just
For
feel
sure.
like so alive
Yeah.
after that. It just feels great. And
But I guess that's why we do pick certain people into our lives as well, because they give us that energy.
yeah,
You can just bounce off them and gain that much.
yeah,
I guess that's what's so good about us. Like, I get so much energy just from hanging out for like 10 minutes.
yeah. I know.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, it is great.
Yeah, it's just
Like
like a coffee.
I remember when like we're in like other countries
Mm.
around the world. Like when I was in Canada, like I would just call you up, and like if I was feeling really down, I would just call you up, and like 10-minute conversation, just easy. Like I'm just full of energy, really buoyant, and like so happy. And yeah, it's like for me, people make me happy. People
for
really
sure,
do make me happy. So that's like a surefire way for me to get my energy up. If I'm feeling down, just give Matt a ring, or give like somebody else a ring, and I'm just like back up to that buoyant.
Like, that's why they probably do say that just helping others is a fulfilling job, and it gives you so much energy. Because I feel like one of the main lessons I learned from just going around traveling is people are just the currency of the world. Like, you don't need money or anything. Like, if you have amazing people around you, you have so much energy, and you just enjoy life like 10 times more.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. I think that's such a big thing. It's such a big thing. And it's just important to have the right people around you as well that do keep your energy up, because there are people that take energy from you as well.
Oh yeah, it's have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
That's why you have to bring them in and out. It's like a cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
So just back to the mind.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things I wanted to ask. When you have, like, say your subconscious mind, and you're saying like there's a step above it where there's this conscious, say like you're just thinking now, you're controlling your thoughts and you're making them come out. Would you say that's your conscious mind? The one that's, you're thinking with it, that you're telling it what to do? Or, like, it's hard to distinguish or know? I'm trying to wonder how to view the mind and know which part is actually conscious. So even just thinking, that can be subconscious.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
I think quite a lot of thinking is unconscious still. Even if you do feel like it's a conscious decision.
Yeah, this might
so
not
like
be.
I think like it might be based off like your past experiences, like in a similar situation, or just like repetition in your mind that's kind of just created this decision for you. I don't think it's inherently like conscious. I feel like I mean, I feel like some of it, I think when you do think, you do have like a connection to like the deeper consciousness that's within you. Like say like through creativity, like where you kind of get an idea out of nowhere, it seems like, and you just kind of like, it's kind of light bulb above your head kind of moment. And like that's kind of like, I feel like that's kind of like reaching into the
because it's new?
Because it's like, it's just out of thin air. It's like new, but it's kind of like gonna influence your future, kind of.
Yeah.
And like it's influencing your present.
That's really cool, actually. It's weird to think about, actually. How you can literally just, something just pops up into you out of nowhere, from nothing. Like something's feeding that into you.
Yeah.
From somewhere.
I mean, if you think about it, somebody had to build the first bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Like, that guy was like a creative genius. Like, I don't know how you would even come up with it. Like, get like this like big like bendy stick. Get like a really thin piece of, I don't know, like a plant fibre or something. I don't know. And then like build an arrow for it as well. And that's like some crazy innovation. Like, forget the bloody iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, that's like...
Well, beforehand you would have just had a rock that you've picked
I know.
up. So it's definitely a big jump.
And after that, like, the function that you could get out of that is crazy. Just out of like some guy like having this like, this brainwave, like...
Well, it's interesting to think like you do have this kind of like reservoir unlimited kind of conscious thought that you could implement into your life.
Yeah.
Apart from you have this whole layer of just constructed throughout your entire life of just prejudices and misconceptions. There's just this whole illusion. You never get past it, and you're living with this is all the information you have, and you think, oh, I'm just going to go to this all the time, tap into it, and it doesn't get you anywhere. So there's nothing new, and it's just anything you've been told by your parents or anyone. Yet you could go down and actually just tap into this. And I don't even know how it's unlimitless, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, there was like a quote that I read in the Prophet book that I read by Khalil Gibran, and it was really interesting. He said that when you learn something, you're just learning something that you already know, pretty much. So it's like almost like you're tapping into that endless kind of infinite kind of consciousness, because like it's been learnt at some point, I guess. And
but
you're just bringing it into your consciousness.
To do with specifically just wisdom in the world, apart from, like, away from just man-constructed kind of things, because I'm guessing you can't look within and ask how to build an iPhone. It's going to be something to do with how to act or live, or...
Yeah, I suppose...
But it can, I guess it then does build on and help you take things in your environment now and piece it together in a different way.
I suppose like quite a lot of it's based on like cultural, kind of like where you are culturally and what culture you're a part of.
Yeah.
Which influence a lot of like your unconscious mind, I guess. But I feel like there is an aspect of it, like it's kind of what these companies like Google, Facebook, like Amazon are all looking for. They're looking for a way to foster and like create this creativity and like innovation. And like Google are trying to do it through like making like big cafes and like playgrounds in their offices and big slides and stuff like that. But it is like inherently like spiritual almost, like that creativity. It's like going deeper within yourself and kind of coming out with these ideas that like are timeless and like are within everybody.
Yeah, it's really interesting to think. Like, same with the that in an engineering course. Like, I remember we were just literally sitting there saying, "Oh, I don't have time to read this or this, but I'm still wise and knowledgeable because I have it within." And I was just sat there like, doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah,
he does speak a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, like I've seen him videos with like top scientists around the world.
Yeah, and he's easily able to hold a conversation with them and understand.
Yeah.
But I guess, really, in the grand scheme of things, everything is connected to the Earth somehow or another into the universe. So if you do understand that underlying concept, you can piece it onto anything, which I won't be able to understand or fathom yet, but I think that's what he was trying to get at.
Yeah.
That you are able to understand everything just by looking within.
I think there is like some wisdom that is like timeless and like has like come from, there's some like piece of the wisdom from people 3,000 years ago that like looked within in themselves, like Gautama the Buddha, where he realized that there was like his cells were constantly like disappearing and reappearing simultaneously. Yeah. He recognized that.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
And they were talking about what was the whole, I can't even remember, like 7,000 different...
Nadis.
Nadis
are called, yeah.
What did they relate to? The nervous system?
Yeah, they're the nervous system, so the different nerve endings. And
wow. So before science and anything, system. They were actually...
Yeah. He was like so conscious and like he went so deeply into meditation that he kind of was aware of it, even though it hadn't been proved for like another couple of thousand years. How mental is that?
Who could that be just made up though? Someone just wanting you to follow a certain religion and be like, look, this guy, he knew this.
He must have been pretty wise. Yeah, a lot of followers.
True.
I mean, who knows really? I mean, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I prefer not to be skeptical.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice thing to believe that. So it's kind of confirms that everything is connected, and we're all there trying to build up this knowledge and science and all sorts, but nothing's really changing because it's all within anyway, and it'll always be there, and it always has. So you don't really need to overcomplicate it and educate yourself in all these weird, wacky ways that we're doing now.
Yeah.
You just sit within yourself and be happy enough and know that everything is within you somehow. Just, yes, still doesn't click, but...
I mean, I think the thing is you need to feel it, and like, it doesn't click until you actually have that...
But you have to experience it yourself.
Yeah, that experience. Because otherwise, like, the theory of it, if anybody just tries to understand it through theory, like you would science theory, or whatever, then you wouldn't get anywhere near any of it.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't get anywhere near it. So it comes through that belief and openness that you do get that wisdom, I feel.
So, like, another thing I wanted to understand, to try and implement in my life now, in my understanding, is how you can understand what the mind is and separate yourself from it, so that you can actually go about your day-to-day life making decisions that aren't just being influenced by this unconscious mind that's been constructed from growing up. Like, you don't need to listen to it, and it doesn't need to dictate where you're going to go.
Yeah.
And want to kind of tap into that consciousness within and implement it. But it's just how to do that.
How to separate yourself from it. I mean, I think that comes... I mean, there's different exercises that you can do. So, like, say, Sadhguru has this exercise called Isha Kriya, where he says this mantra. He goes, "You are not the body, you are not even the mind." And he says that over and over again, and you kind of sync it with your breathing, and your thoughts and your awareness all at the same time in like a specific order. So like when you go do your inhale, you go, "I am not the body," and then exhale, "I am not even the mind."
I feel like you do his voice when you do
it. No,
like, "I'm not the body."
He says it in a really intense way as well. It's great. He goes, "I am not the body. I am not even the mind." You're like, it's almost
quite
scary.
Intense, yeah.
It's funny. I was doing that meditation, like in my room,
and
I must have had Bluetooth on, and my little brother was having the speaker on in his shower. And like he was listening to tunes, chilling, and I had it in my headphones. And then it like switched the Bluetooth somehow, so it switched to my brother's speaker in the shower, and then he was just having a shower, and then all of a sudden he came, "I am not the body."
Someone thought God was speaking to him or something.
He was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Or he ran out that shower.
Yeah, no, it's just like God visiting him while he's having a shower. It must have been so strange.
Maybe that's just how most of the miracles come about nowadays.
Like,
and everyone's like, "I heard God." It's just your fucking brother in the next room on Bluetooth doing some wacky meditation.
Oh my God, that's funny.
But so from that meditation, like, what is the aim of it to then build that awareness of, or building that capability of yourself to have that objective view within your mind? Because you then build your awareness to know you're not the mind, because you can then sit there and watch it instead of thinking it's you and getting lost within it.
Yeah, like it's like the problem with like a lot of society in terms of the mind is that a lot of people think that they are those thoughts that come in like spontaneously. So they if they have like a feeling of sadness, then they're just like, "Oh, I'm sad." Or like if they have like a feeling of like anger, they're just like, "Oh, I'm really pissed off." And like if you do separate yourself from the restraints of your mind and your identification with those thoughts, then you see yourself as something beyond, something infinite that is listening to that, and that way you notice that awareness and that deeper self isn't affected by those feelings and thoughts. You kind of can not disregard, but be aware of the thoughts.
But yeah, I was
and
going to
feelings.
ask what you, because you're going to feel them, because you're taking in your experience, and it's a certain thing in your brain's triggered it, and you do feel that way. But what? So instead of thinking it's you, what do you do with it?
Well, you just be aware. You just be aware of it. So you just sit there and just, if your mind's going crazy thinking about Domino's pizza, just look at it. Just look at it directly. And then just kind of observe and think, I'm the one that sat back listening to this craziness going on in my mind. And then, like, if it's getting too... Yeah, hopefully...
No, I want to know how to... Because, especially for ruts, I feel like I go in a little cycle where I'm too critical and not happy. And then I'm there trying to piece together why I'm feeling this way and trying to solve it. When I remember you just mentioning to me from a book you read that that's exactly what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be the one trying to solve it. You should just... Because that's... it's natural. Like, that's fine to feel that way.
Yeah.
You shouldn't try and solve it. You should just sit back.
It's kind of like... If like a thought arises, like, say like, oh, I'm feeling really sad right now. And you feel like this sadness rising in you, and then you go like, oh, why am I feeling sad? Oh, it's because this happened, and that's really shitty, and I can't believe it's happened. And like, but like what you should do, like in order to feel happier in that situation, is kind of just be aware of this energy and this like this energy that's kind of putting like a blockade on your heart and your love energy. Kind of just look at that, look at how it's affecting who you are, and then just be aware, just sit there, relax your shoulders, relax your heart completely, just sit on your like deeper self and just kind of just let it go, and then just kind of like just that's not me.
No, that
as
makes more
Jamie
sense.
said.
Because I can, especially when I'm aware and I can't really describe it. It's just whenever like you tap into like that energy of life and you're like so full of energy and you're like so aware of life in yourself and happy within yourself, and being able to have that awareness that can be there and just view things that do come. And just, it's being aware of that underlying energy and letting it fuel yourself to be able to actually sit there and let things go. Instead of getting consumed, you need it to be like a greater kind of force than that unconscious mind that's constantly flowing.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing you're building up with meditation, to the point the awareness can override these ruts that you go through. Because you can go through them so unconsciously.
Yeah.
Like, you can spend a whole week thinking, oh, I'm feeling down, I need to do this, try so many different things. When it's just you and your mind, you're making yourself feel that way. You could just let it go.
I think the key is, especially when you go into a rut, like, a lot of the pain that you're feeling is because you have these constraints on your heart. And a lot of the times when you feel like really, really shitty, you try and like, try do this and try do this. But sometimes you kind of need to look at what is actually constraining it. Yeah. And kind of be aware of what's constraining it. Because like, if you've, say like, you've got like a rock that's like really dirty and shitty and like, just really dirty. And then you're like, look, okay, this rock's really dirty. What do I do with it? I want to make it look, I want it to be more clear. Then you go and like paint it blue or something, like blue like the sky, and you're just like, oh, this is looking nicer. But in reality, underneath all the blue paint, it's caked in shit and dirt and all this kind of stuff. But you kind of put on this kind of surface layer. Yeah.
That's protecting you from those dark and deep. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like you are, like, you can just have that protective layer of just masking over everything, which gives you those periods of happiness where you can go about your life normally. And then it might wear down after time, and you have that cycle where you're going into the ruts again and again and again.
Yeah.
And then you're finding the keys to make you happy by doing certain things that you know in the past that made you happy. Yeah. It's just that constant cycle.
Yeah. And then it just comes back, and then you just like, you start feeling the pain that you already felt. Yeah. That made you feel shitty.
It's kind of, it's funny, like in hindsight now, I'm just looking at like different phases of where I've gone into like a rut, and it's so obvious to see like, you're not solving, and I know deep down, like I know there's like a little thought there, it doesn't come up because I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
That I'm not doing something right, and I'm kind of pushing a problem to the side that shouldn't be pushed to the side. Yeah. But maybe out of fear I'm just hiding from it, covering it up.
Yeah.
Just trying to get on, and then 2 months down the line again, just boom.
All it takes is like you could drop the rock. Yeah. And then like a bit of the paint gets scuffed and it shows the dirt.
Yeah, and that's it.
And then it exposes that dirty layer underneath. And you can like try and keep painting over it. Yeah. Keep painting over it. But you're actually never getting anywhere.
No.
What you need to do is start soaking it a bit and like getting rid of some of the dirt.
Just flying out the shop. Oh, sorry.
Nice and visitor.
You just hear him going closer and closer.
I knew it was going to happen. Yeah. We're going so well. Okay.
To be honest, it should just be part of like a cheeky little podcast. Just someone interrupts it, it's just be like, surprise guest.
Yeah, surprise guest. Here's my dad. Yeah. Okay.
That makes a lot more sense actually. Just getting it out and speaking about it and understanding how that is what you do. Like you will do that unconsciously as well. That is how people fix their problems. Like they know how they've learned what makes them happy in the past, which for me is just feeling like I'm productive, eating well. So that's what I try and do. Try and paint over it to the point I forget that I've been in a rut, and I'm just painted over, and then I go back and I'm like, fuck, how do I do this?
Yeah, but like to actually get out of the rut, actually get out of that, like it's obvious. It seems obvious with this analogy. Yeah. But like you just start taking off some of the dirty layers, which may be like soaking it in water, like I don't know, just chipping away at it. Yeah. Like trying to really be aware of all the dirt that's
Well, I think
surfacing.
Chipping away at it's definitely a really good analogy, sorry. Just because you, like, most of the time when you're actually going about these processes of learning, building that mentality and that actual ability to have awareness and mindfulness, that's such a hard process, and it will be like microscopic chips, which is probably the reason why, especially for me, I know it's an effort, so I don't interact with it because I know it's like such a big challenge that I don't want to face, but I just can't. You have to face it, and it will be worth it. It's just hard to get going and keep chipping.
Yeah, it's like getting through that that painful layer, getting through that pain, and then beyond that is pure love. Yeah. Literally beyond that is everything. But you need to keep on chipping away, and then you'll see like a shiny rock that's just kind of like
it's just hard to. It's like chip it, like it's, you know what you have to do, apart from your mind. Just your mind's the thing that you have to get past, and it's doing the exact opposite and doesn't want you to do that, which it's, I don't know, it's so counterintuitive because it's like two thoughts then arise in your head, and you know it's good to actually go for it, but your mind just won't let you.
Yeah, I know. It's because it's so obsessed with keeping the ego, the mind, like safe. Yeah. It's like inbuilt in our biology, that survival instinct. Like I need to survive. I need to keep this self, this like personality or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's what we've built up to survive and like live within this environment well.
Yeah, even though it is like caked in mud, like it's may feel quite comfortable like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, this is who I am.
Well, it works in the sense of just living, reproducing, dying. But we're so much more than that now, and we definitely need to try and push past that. It's just the constant effort, years of effort.
It is.
Which is
it
just
is a
quite
lot
daunting.
Of effort, but it's worth it. It's worth it to truly be able to live. And a lot of people don't truly live.
Yeah. I feel like I don't. I've had like little periods in and out where it's just this dip into kind of like this amazing energy of life and just being able to be conscious and happy with it all, and then it's just hard to. It's kind of like a dreamlike state to imagine you could have that all the time, which seems too good to be true to the point you're just like, oh well, I can't get it then.
Yeah.
Forces you to fold up within yourself.
It's possible. Loads of people have done it before.
Yeah. Well,
a select few, maybe.
That interview from Sadhguru where he's just talking about how he experienced just bliss within himself, just pure ecstasy.
Yeah.
And that's his now purpose in life, to help people experience that as well. Just the thought that you could experience that from sitting still.
Yeah.
Is just incredible, because we're here now, trying to spend countless amounts of money on whatever activity now pops up is in trend to gain that, whereas you could just sit in your house.
Yeah, like it's literally within you.
Yeah.
It's like what you're searching from. I can't remember who said this, but it's like a really great quote. What you're searching for is exactly where you are.
Yeah.
It's like you are where you are searching. You are in the position of everything.
That's the kind of idea that they try and push across in all the kind of meditation books, but it's so hard to comprehend and understand and actually then implement into your life. Because obviously when meditating, that's what you're trying to sit there and kind of fathom, but it's just so hard to do.
It's hard because like your whole life has been, especially in the Western world, you view yourself as an individual. You're like, oh yeah, I'm a Man United fan. I go to Lancaster University or whatever university. Like your self-construct is so great, especially in like a country like the UK, that it's really, really tough to get away from. Yeah. It's like so ingrained
busy.
in you.
Like life's incredibly busy. And we've been taught from kids like, you need more, you need this to make you happy, and this. Like you need something to then feel something or gain something. Whereas you who didn't need anything the entire time, you could have just sat there and relax. It would be funny if you had kids instead of just on Xboxes sat in their room on their own. Yeah. But I don't think that's ever gonna... I'd love that to happen.
Yeah.
It's such a better world.
But it's just what we've been given. Like it's just the cards that we've been given. Like this is the world that we live in today.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, we've spent countless hours on Xbox.
Oh yeah. Well, so the point I wish I didn't. For some parts, I wish, because you could use it in so many beneficial ways, but you don't know in the time.
But like, some kids just don't want to sit still, and like they don't want to meditate. Like, well, every kid probably doesn't want to do it. They want to play. They want to play. They want to have fun. They want to have anything that's like stimulating. But like, it's just the world that we grow up in.
But it's just how we could actually bring it away, because I feel like growing up the way we did, like you said, we're always searching for stimulating things, the next fix and the next bit of dopamine, and trying to chase things. That's how we've always grown up, and how our minds are kind of wired now. Like I'm waking up in the morning thinking I need this, and constantly chasing stuff. And it's a shame that we did get brought up that way, but it's now asking a question how you can take what we have and adapt it in a positive manner. But it's just, I feel like even within myself and even knowing, it's just can't really implement it fully yet.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to implement fully. Like as I said, like it's like years process to get anywhere near like enlightenment or whatever. Like it's like it is a life's work. Yeah. It is a life's work. You've got to work for most of your life to get there.
Well, Do you have to get there though? I feel like it should just be.
Well, it's not even getting there. Like, that's the thing. Like,
it's just being able to now, in the moment, start just trying to enjoy life, and take that conscious element from it and use it, and start dictating where you could go. Because you can do so much with life.
Yeah.
There's so many tools at our disposal. We just don't use them.
Mm.
I think that's where a lot of my unhappiness comes from, because I'm there knowing this amazing thing we could do, all sorts of potential, and then you're sat there unable to actually dictate your mind, manipulate it enough to bring action. You just need to somehow build up that present moment ability.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, like you said, chipping away.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process, and it is like I said, like doing the Ishikriya, dividing yourself from your mind and your body, and also like another thing that.
Is it gone?
Okay, no more camera. You can't see our beautiful faces anymore.
Just have to put something beautiful. Some funny photo.
Yeah, we'll get a photo up there so you can have some kind of visual stimulation. What was I talking about? It was yeah. So it's just about constantly asking those questions in your daily life. So when something comes up, you just kind of like, who is this that's experiencing this? And then who is that heard you say, who's experiencing this?
Oh yeah.
It's like, who's listening to that?
Yeah.
Who's experiencing that? And I think that is the consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, you can keep on going, but it's the experiencer.
Yeah.
It's a thing that's experiencing all the activity in the mind, the body, the world, everything around you is the consciousness. That's the experiencer. And almost not even like the experiencer, it's like, it's just existence. It's just existence, but we've kind of manifested a way, somehow, being human, we've manifested a way where consciousness can experience itself. So it's existence experiencing itself, somehow.
Because we actually have the ability now to start tapping and understand that existence. Whereas before, just to say like animals,
you just exist.
Yeah, you just exist, and you're going. Most of the, I'm guessing, I guess we don't know, but their brain capacity will just be that instinct, unconscious mind just driving through life. Whereas now we have the ability to actually comprehend existence, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah. Like, we can actually comprehend it and talk about it on a podcast.
Pretty freaking nuts.
I mean, not like we comprehend it.
Yeah, we got no clue.
Don't have a clue what's going on, but we can talk about it. Talk about our own experiences.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be funny if you just this in about 50 years' time, you should be completely just like...
Like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
They're fucking doofuses.
Yeah. Probably will, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this podcast. I want to, like, every single day, I want to be like, oh, we spoke about this yesterday. Fuck, like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, at least,
learning the questions.
at least I know it for real now. Or, like, not even for real. Like, I'll probably get proved wrong the next day, but it's about getting proved wrong every day.
Yeah. And constantly going along that learning process.
Yeah. Like, I'd love to have just, like future episodes, just like having like guests on that just completely boggle my mind and prove me completely wrong for whatever I'm talking about.
Like, even just from speaking with ourselves, just hearing even your own voice, you start understanding things, because things start falling into place.
Yeah.
And you tap into that creative kind of mind again, and ideas pop up.
Yeah.
Like, even just the process of speaking just brings up so much knowledge, and then if having someone else speaking with you could just bring it so many ideas, which is so useful.
Yeah. I mean, even that rock and dirt analogy,
Yeah, that helps me a lot.
I mean, it's definitely been said before. I probably heard it somewhere, but like, yeah, it just.
But it's so useful,
It makes
when you like apply it to your own life and your problems as well, and you were able to actually build your awareness then, because you've created this memory and linked it to something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's super useful.
Yeah, that's why like loads of wise people, like Buddha and like Sadhguru and all these super wise people, they all use like stories and like analogies because it makes it easier for you to understand.
Yeah, it's true. You're able to just link it to your own experience and quickly get to grips with it.
Yeah, because it's kind of like your imagination. It's kind of like, it's like almost like a fiction, but it's inherently real.
Pretty freaking nuts.
Yeah. I love like metaphors and stuff like that.
Like, well, they help so much.
Yeah.
I feel like anything, like lecturers probably should just use a crap ton of metaphors, and I do so well.
Yeah.
If it was taught in that manner.
Legit. Like that. Have you read the book The Joy of Living?
No.
You should read it. I've got it upstairs. But it's by this guy called Yungi Munga Rinpoche. I butchered his name massively. Just destroyed the name, but I gave it a try.
We should try it. That's all.
It's just this monk dude. Just go with this monk. Yeah. No, this monk. He made this book called The Joy of Living, and he's so wise. He tells these stories about like when he's like 7 years old. Like he went to this 3-year retreat where he just like sat in silence and.
See, that's what I mean. That's what kids should be doing.
I know. Like, and then by the time he was like 14 or like mid-teens, he was running the retreat.
What?
Yeah.
How?
And he ran the retreat for like 8 years.
Wow, that's actually incredible.
It is incredible. Like, yeah, and
I don't know what I was doing when I was 14.
He has some crazy wisdom. Like, he came up. Well, I don't know if he came up with it. Like, it's probably been told many times, but like he came up with this metaphor which like really hit home for me when I read it. He was talking about the golden nugget. Yeah. I think I've probably told you about it. So like, it's like inside you, that consciousness is a golden nugget. So it's like shiny, like bright, everything. It's like really beautiful. And like this, I haven't told the story right. Okay. He says it as in like a story. Yeah. So he goes. So this farmer is on his land, and he's by a stream, and he's rummaging around in the stream, and he finds this rock, and like he's like, oh, this rock might have something inside, I don't know. And so he took it back home, and it's like just this horrible, like dirty, muddy, wet rock. And he's like, oh, I'll start like scrubbing it, like seeing if there's any like minerals or like rocks and valuable rocks inside. He starts rubbing off all the gold, all the dirt on the outside, and he finds gold. I ruined the story. No. You can tell I'm a great storyteller.
People are going to be listening to you.
It's like, this makes sense. No, but there's this golden nugget inside, this bright golden nugget. And what's more valuable, the big dirty rock, or the golden nugget, the clean golden nugget?
Both. What if you knew the golden nugget was inside the dirty rock? It would be the same. Would you say yeah? Yeah.
But a lot of people in their lives.
Looking at it from afar, like straight, if you were to put side by side, you would say the golden nugget's more.
Yeah, you're saying, oh yeah, like if you had like the golden nugget on one side and like a big like rock on the other side, you'd be like, oh, easy.
Yeah.
It's the golden nugget. Easy.
Yeah.
But like, it's the same. It's the same thing. Everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Everybody is that rock, and we just have different amounts of layers of mud and like horrible stuff on top of it. So like even horrible people like murderers and Donald Trump and like people.
Got a lot of layers on.
They've got a lot of layers, but like they still have the golden nugget inside them, and it might take many lifetimes for them to get anywhere near it. But
so weird to think Donald Trump could actually have like in a stillness. Golden nugget.
I mean, I don't think he's got anywhere near it in his life, but
he's definitely built high on top of it.
You never know what's going on inside of his head.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, honestly, like he'll still have thoughts of what the hell am I doing here? Even like when he was a child, he would play in like sand pits and like imagine all this crazy stuff, like and like question life, and he would have done it.
Yeah, it's interesting to think that everyone could become that golden nugget, and you just have to wear down those layers and start working at it. And it's probably just those layers you don't want to face.
Yeah, it's the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't face it.
No. Well, yeah, you can. That's one of my biggest fears in life, that just not facing it to the point you've gone through your entire life and you've not actually got past that like outer layer, and you've lived in a kind of I don't know, toned down life. It's definitely limited.
Limited.
You're not going by not going down that route of trying to question and understand.
Yeah, I mean, I truly believe that that's why we're on this earth. Like, we're not on here to play Xbox or like go on social media. That's not what we've been born for. We're just distracting ourselves from actually asking the real questions and exploring who we are.
I feel like that's what we've got really good at. Anything you don't want to face, because your mind just doesn't. It's hard to face it. That we've found so many different ways to distract ourselves. Like with me now, I don't have. I make sure I don't have much to distract myself, but food is definitely one of them. I'm just like, alright, I'm just gonna eat more, because then I'm eating, so I don't have to do anything else. I'm just eating. That's fine. I need to eat to survive. That's okay. But it's just not.
That's something I need to do.
I
guess I'll do that.
I can keep on eating. It means I don't have to think more. Definitely gonna have a problem of trying not to get fat when I'm older and the metabolism drops. Hiding from my mind by eating.
Well, people do, and that's I don't know. You can. It makes so much sense to move away from that.
It's just it's building the capability, the courage to actually go ahead and do it. Though it's so easy just sitting here talking about it.
I know.
And then if you're there on your own, it's so hard.
I do it all the time. it all the time. So like constantly I'm like escaping. Like yesterday, I like read one of the last chapters in that Untethered Soul book that I'm reading by Michael Singer, and he is like such like a mind blowing way with words. He is like, he just absolutely knocks my socks off every single word that I read. And I remember like yesterday I read like a chapter and I was just like, fuck, this world is mad. And I just couldn't like, my mind almost like snapped back and kind of was like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to like look deeper within myself and ask these big questions. It was like I was talking to my dad about it, and I was saying it was almost like I had like an elastic band, and like recently I've been really stretching it as far as I can, and like really pushing the boundaries of how I think and my awareness, and almost like I pulled it, and then like I let go. Like I just let go of the tension and the awareness of my consciousness, and it just snapped back, and my mind just went, alright, abort,
Yeah.
Let's get out of this situation. And that's maybe because I don't have good enough habits or like structure in place for me to carry on moving through it. But I just kind of completely went escapism mode, which my mode of escapism is just going on YouTube and just hiding, like just going in my recommended feed and just binge watching. Like it might be like somewhat beneficial content what I'm watching, like it's like self-improvement content, but it's like so mindless. Like when I was watching it, I was just kind of like I'm not conscious at all while I'm clicking on the next video. I'm just completely engrossed in it.
Well, yeah, it's your mind's literally pulling your conscious mind back and stopping it. So it's there trying to change and bring in some uncertainty, which I guess in our mind is there telling us, right, that's unsafe, that's not what we know, that's not here helping us survive, we don't need it and we don't want change. And it's there trying to pull you back and hold you in, when your conscious mind can go ahead and do it, but it's so hard to actually keep moving forward. You're always going to get pulled back.
And it's ups and downs in like the spiritual path. Like you think you're getting somewhere, and then
yeah. That was a good noise.
That was a good noise.
Really good. Where did you learn that?
I don't know.
Start doing like cartoon voiceovers. No, it was just Scrap actually finding some like sound effects online, just get you behind.
Honestly, like that's all I need. I think like people watching it like, oh whoa, they've really upped the game. Got some sound effects in. No, it's just my mouth.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to think how, like you were saying, you don't have enough strong habits in place to keep pushing, because obviously you have it, incredibly strong habits built within your unconscious mind to go ahead and just chuck time away and do things you normally do. There, it's so strong, so hard to get out of, and that's what, like, the ruts when they take hold of you, and it's building up the habits that are positive and making them strong enough to help you not go back into that kind of rut again. It's probably like the biggest challenge that I'm facing now. So it's so easy just to come to a stumbling block. You will, like, that's part of the journey, and it's knowing what to do when you get there and how to get back on the horse and keep riding. Because it's so easy just to run and hide and go back to your old ways, especially when you're just starting.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I've been doing a lot, because you get this, it's so hard to describe, it's like an underlying thought. You start understanding things and seeing things that you want, and then it just gets shut away instantly by your mind. It's like it's hiding it from you, which is really odd.
I think you just got to realise that it is just your mind trying to reclaim yourself and like your identity. That's just what your mind wants. It just wants the power and the awareness to be on it. Because it's a bit of a drama queen. It likes having the spotlight on it, and when it doesn't have that, and it goes like away to somewhere else, like that deeper part inside you, it dies. It dies. Like once you get to a point where you are constantly living on the seat of your awareness, the deeper self, the consciousness, then it dies. It's like it doesn't exist anymore. Well, like, you still have thoughts and your mind's still there, but you don't put your awareness onto your mind. It's all on the deeper awareness. So that's what it doesn't want. That's exactly what it doesn't want.
That's why it's so hard to actually change from that, because instead of that being you, you're then in itself killing itself.
Yeah, you're killing yourself, pretty much.
Which is pretty extreme.
Which is extreme, but that's why the force against you from pushing through the boundaries is like so intense. Because you're literally like those functions, so like your mind has been created so that you survive. So like your mind, like when you feel like a fear, so like a fear of heights, you're kind of like, oh, like I shouldn't do this, so I'll survive, and you'll survive. But like if you like break out of that and break through the pain barrier and like the feeling of fear, then it's like the mind is just not there anymore. Like, or like you don't have any power on it anymore, which is like that's what it doesn't want. It's like so against that that it will literally bring you back, even if it puts you in the worst state ever. It will do that.
It's pretty brutal. It's gonna be tough.
It is tough.
Really tough. And it's so annoying because I feel like so much in life is just given to us now. It's so easy. You have it so easy to the point it just makes it even harder because your mind just expects to get given stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to actually do something hard, especially at that kind of.
It's all on a
so
plate.
drastic.
And especially with like social media and like it's so easy to just go and binge watch Netflix for 24 hours. It's really so easy. But like what you need to do is like that's what I was saying with the habits. It's like you need to rewire your brain so you you enjoy doing the hard things in life. You enjoy meditating. You enjoy like looking deeper within yourself, doing yoga, self-improvement, self-reflection, like all that. You actually put emphasis on doing that ahead of doing other things like watching Netflix.
I guess it's just having the strong enough awareness to know it's beneficial long term and know why and how. You kind of, for me at least, I feel like you do need some kind of experience or something that makes you fully believe in it, and then you'll start harnessing like the proper inner motivation to keep driving forward, or else you're just never gonna fully believe, and you'll just you won't be putting the energy into it that it needs.
Yeah.
Pull you away.
Yeah, there needs to be a big why.
A huge why, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's all well and good hearing it from other people, reading books, but I still feel like that only gives you that short-term motivation and energy to actually go for it. It's not long-term. So it's probably, I don't know, you just have to really push yourself past the point you actually do experience something maybe, and then you truly believe it within yourself and you have the capacity and knowledge to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know about meditation and how I can actually build that into my life now, and what it is and how you start getting good at it or implementing it.
Yeah.
So
don't know why you're asking me.
Well, you're more experienced than me.
Yeah.
I feel like you've read at least 2 more books.
I feel like I'm only just starting it though.
I feel like that's
starting doing
more
properly.
useful than someone who's been doing it for years, because you like the struggles and the fear and everything are fresh and you're still going for it.
Yeah.
And you can like talking through your experience as of recently.
Yeah.
It would be helpful just to understand, because it's just the starting, not even later down the line of what meditation is and how to get to a deep level. It's just starting and keeping it going.
Just starting.
What to expect and why to do it.
I mean, I started properly meditating I started meditating like probably about 3 years ago. But like, when I did start 3 years ago, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. When I would like sit down to meditate, I would just sit there and I would kind of like just think about stuff, and like I thought it was just kind of looking at my thoughts almost. And when I first started, my mind was all over the place. That's kind of one thing that's been like a problem for me like since forever. I'm a massive overthinker, and I like cause a lot of anxiety for myself through overthinking. And like I suppose I would kind of become more aware of it, but I kind of got into some bad habits of meditation where I'd just do it to like keep this streak up. So I had like an app where I would like try and meditate every day, and I would like write down on this app like how much time I did it for, and I got into a habit of just doing it for that, and not actually like get to a place where I can be clearer in my mind and be more peaceful. And actually I wasn't actually going for like different goals that I wanted to, and like I wasn't actually seeing meditation for what it actually is, which is actually looking deeper into your, and like looking and trying to identify your deeper self and your consciousness, which for the longest time I was just looking on surface value. And it's only recently with kind of doing more of the, so like say for example like the Isha Kriya meditation, and just like having an aim with meditation, and like not kind of like an aim like you would like if in like it's not really an aim, because you're not trying to get anywhere, but you're just trying to constantly improve and evolve like your way of thinking.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's something you want to create and achieve.
Yeah.
But it's more present.
It's kind of a weird kind of goal, because you have this goal and like place you want to be, but at the same time with meditation you can't really be like actively pushing towards a goal, because once you start looking towards like meditation and enlightenment and waking up as like a goal, then that's when you lose sight of what you're actually doing it for.
Well, I guess it's knowing what you're going in for. When you're sat there doing it, it is for being in the present moment, being more aware of yourself, and it's just keeping that consistency to the point it's just always in your life. Like you always want it there, so you're doing it every day so that you have that frame of mind, and it will always grow, and your aim is to have it in your daily life all the time. Practicing, that's the aim. But it will definitely improve day on day as you keep on doing it.
Like meditation practice isn't just sitting down in a cross-legged position and like doing mantras. It's about like the everyday kind of, when like a thought comes up when you're in the shopping queue at like Tesco's, like it's kind of like acknowledging that thought and like having the awareness to look at it and then just let it go. Like in your daily life, not just when you're sat down meditating.
Well, I guess it will get to a point where you are just, it is a different way of life and a different way of living, being able to kind of deal with your mind in that way. You can actually alter like your whole path going forward depending on how you actually use it. And that's also one of the main aims. Especially for me, that's one of my biggest motivations with it, is I can actually change the trajectory of my life by just here and now being in that present moment and adapting the way I think. And choosing how to go forward with it, which I think is so useful.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about just improving your present moment and like coming more in line with the present moment and where you actually are at that time and who you are in like the most profound sense, just literally who you are.
So how, with all that said and done, sounds great.
But how do you actually sit down and do it?
Because at the moment when I meditate, if I meditate, it's not for a long period of time, because my mind is thinking, alright, I've nearly done it for long enough, then I've done it for the day. So it's not even focused on why I'm doing it, it's still focused on kind of the, like you said, the goal in the future, which it shouldn't be about, of just doing it.
Well, I think like even now I always have those thoughts, but like it's about having that awareness to actually look at anything that comes up in your head, even if it's like, oh, I've been doing this for like 10 minutes now, when can I stop? That's still like a thought that you can practice with. Like it's just like a source of like practice. Like when different triggers come up in your head, like you can, like the meditation is the response to that those things that come up in your mind and body.
Okay, so the more anything that comes into your mind,
Yeah.
you can just view it as like this problem and challenge. You
It's
can
like a
overcome
challenge,
again. Yeah. Okay. It's just, yeah, I could do that maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like, everything's like just a big challenge, and it's like, I feel like the harder the challenge, and like if it's like a really big thing, so like even something traumatic, like say, I mean, God forbid, like somebody close to you like dies, like obviously it's a really sad and horrible thing to go through, but like you still have to have a response to it. And you can either be like consumed by the sadness and make like you become the sadness, or like you can see it as a challenge to do with your meditation practice and see it as something that you can overcome almost, and like create like a positive thing out of it, even though it may seem like the worst thing possible.
And then when you're actually meditating, so I'm always confused if, so I always have this image of like when you go to meditate, you come out with these crazy deep profound thoughts and you kind of solve all your life problems. Just kind of the painted picture I've kind of got. But I'm just wondering if you're actually even supposed to think, like if you're allowed to just go and have a few thoughts and try and solve problems, or if it's more, it needs to just be you there observing. You shouldn't be actively thinking when you meditate.
I think it's impossible for you like not to think, because like thinking is just it's just there. It's like even like the most enlightened people in the world can't stop, maybe for like a few moments or whatever, but it's like not completely. Thoughts come up and like feelings come up, but it's just they have like a better way of dealing the thoughts and feelings that come up, so they put their awareness on it and just let it go, and it doesn't have any impact on their inner peace.
So they just watch.
And
then by doing that, by watching your thoughts, building awareness and letting them go, you're then in a better position to be aware in your day-to-day life and just come and let things
so
go.
like say if something did like so say like if somebody at work like said something behind your back, or like something happened, like you didn't get a promotion, like you can look at that situation like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. Those thoughts will come up in your head because like you're human, you have like doubts about yourself and that kind of thing. Like those thoughts will come up, but it's just if you actually attend those thoughts and put your awareness on those thoughts. So you're just taking your awareness that would be on the thoughts and putting it on your peaceful center.
And so you're putting it on your peaceful center by being aware and letting things go.
Yeah, like be aware that it's there, like the thought's there, and then just realize it's not you. It's just your mind that's creating this scenario that doesn't exist. It may not even exist. Like using like chasing shadows almost. You're just creating a situation.
I think that's one of the biggest realizations I've made recently, is that a large proportion of everything we see is just this illusion that your mind's created. Like the perspective you have, like you're living through, like your experience is completely shaped by just your own framework that you're viewing it through. And it's scary to think you're not even viewing the real world. Even though you think you are and you think you're living everything, no matter what it is, you've decided to take it in and respond to it in certain ways, and it's just completely shaped reality without you even knowing it. It's so unconscious. I think I'd quite like to get to a point where I feel like the mind's not just the thing that's dictating everything and showing, like, I'm not just experiencing everything through my mind, which I feel like is the large proportion of my life right now, even though I think I'm trying to gain control. I'd like to get to a stage where I feel like I'm the one dictating everything.
Yeah. How do you feel like you get to that point?
That's what I'm struggling with, and why I'm struggling to connect how meditation helps me get there. But I think, at least from what I've done so far, just gaining that awareness, and even having like the thought, like I just said then, of the mind being an illusion, and having that awareness that it is, then gives me the ability to meditate, or not even just meditate, just be aware in day-to-day life. If I have an opinion, or if I've looked at something in a certain way or felt a certain way, I know that's all to do with just my mind and how it's taking something in.
Yeah.
And then I can question it. But I feel like I'm at the stage where, instead, like, questioning it, I'm then questioning why I think like that, saying it's good or bad, where that's me dealing with things and trying to solve them. And I need to get that other step further in actually taking like a observing kind of view, a bit higher up, that's not even interacting with those kind of things, not trying to solve it, because I don't need to. It's not a problem I need to solve, I just need to let things go.
Yeah, it's just be. Just let things be, and be how they are.
Yeah.
So like, even if like you have like a thought like, oh, I'm shit at meditation. I've not like been conscious this whole time, and I'm not getting all these crazy rewards and like effects that you think like you would get from meditation.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the gift, is kind of noticing that that's like the starting point. It's kind of like noticing that your awareness is all over the place.
Yeah.
And kind of that you're nowhere near that peaceful place, but at the same time it's inside you.
Yeah.
And like it is a part of you already.
I think a huge part that brings me back is just my ego, because it's way too fucking big. I mean, like, my ego is terrible.
Yeah.
So bad. And it's got to the stage now where, like Blaine's pointed out and helped me so much with it, where now I sit there and I'm wanting to make comments, and I'm like, that's your ego.
I mean, you are a competitive person.
Yeah, like anyone who will like put me down, I'm always wanting to put myself up and hold myself at this high standard.
Yeah.
And that's, my ego's way too inflated and big, to the point I need to learn. That's one of the main challenges. I need to learn to let that go.
Yeah.
To actually move forward and do different things in my life in a better manner. It definitely draws me back. Like, I react in such bad ways sometimes, even without, like, I wouldn't want to react that way, but it's just unconscious, like instant.
Yeah.
And I need to build the awareness to actually catch myself earlier.
Yeah.
And then sit there and pull myself back.
Yeah. Just let it go and move on, and
just
be aware of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, just even being aware that you do have an ego is like a start.
Yeah.
But like, everybody has an ego, but you can, if you think it's like a big thing that you want to kind of like be aware of, then you should, like, whenever you just feel like you're in a situation where it would build up, or like you feel like it would become like a big thing in that situation, it would be good to kind of just notice that and just enjoy kind of like seeing where it goes.
Yeah.
And seeing
just follow the mind and what it would do. Yeah.
Just follow where it goes, because that would be super interesting, and that would be a good way of meditating on like how you can improve. And
yeah, it would be interesting as well, because that ego is probably sometimes the thing that I thought was myself, and then being able to actually watch the thoughts and think, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
like,
so
that's
true.
a whole complete, well, not a whole different person, but a whole different side to me that would have used to be like just free and would have been me per se in my own mind for a long time, and now is the only time where I'm like pulling back and thinking, oh, okay, maybe that doesn't have to be me, I can pull that back and stop it. Yeah, 'cause it's definitely not beneficial.
Yeah.
It runs wild.
Yeah, it happens though.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through that process of noticing things that, like, noticing that resistance and kind of like knowing that you're still like a big part of you thinks that you're the mind.
Yeah.
Or like it's like so drummed into like your thoughts and your feelings and.
Well, yeah, I think just the whole separation of yourself from all those thoughts that you used to think was you. It's just extremely hard to understand and get to a point where you know. You can get just completely lost. And it is an illusion, so you're completely hypnotized sometimes and you think it is you.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess that's when, like when you're drunk and you lose control, that's when it most shows up as well. It's like the complete opposite to being mindful.
Yeah.
Which brings about a lot of problems.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'd quite like to tone that in.
Yeah. But like, it's not even toning it in, it's just actually just being aware that it's part of you. Being aware, but then kind of, you said it like about 20 times in the last 10 minutes, but let it go.
Let it go, man.
Yeah. Just like relax your shoulders and heart and just kind of let it melt away from like your consciousness and like where you are, like it's not you.
Yeah.
And like the more and more you ask that question, when you're feeling that like ego build up inside of you and you're just kind of like, is this me?
And then you just be able to catch it out and know.
Yeah. But it's a big process. It's a big long road trying to get to know who you actually are.
Yeah.
And it's not like, we're not talking about kind of go on a gap year and find yourself. It's not that. It's actually finding that deep core, beautiful, pure nature that's within you and within everybody.
Yeah. It's just pushing aside all the different characters that you think that you have been playing for most of your life, that you think are you, and just letting them be.
Yeah. It's a big transition, but it's an effortless transition because you are experiencing your existence right now. Like you're experiencing everything right now in this moment when we're doing this podcast.
Yes.
But it's just we've kind of developed this narrow vision where we're kind of just focusing on little things and not the big picture, that we are flying around in a ball of dirt in the middle of a big universe.
Yeah.
And we're so small, but we think that all these problems are so big. But the most amazing thing is that we are alive right now. That's the only thing that matters.
It does amaze me how we've managed to kind of distract ourselves so well. Like every time I'm, like recently, just when I'm revising so hard, I always walk back between my mum's and my dad's and just look up at the moon. And it always like humbles me and just quickly reverts your brain back to, oh, there's literally so much more than this. And it's just crazy that you can go unconscious doing all these different things when that's always there. It's such a shame.
Yeah.
You just need the thing to bring you back in and remind you. And the moon's a good thing to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Helps a lot.
Every time you look at the moon, you're just like, damn, I'm small.
Yeah. The moon's just incredible.
Yeah. And not even like small, like 5'8" compared to 6 foot. Like you are small.
Yeah.
Like planets are big.
Planets are big, man. Get that into your head. It's like you're a little lentil compared to just a big ass fat dude.
Yeah, man. That's a great way to put it.
I just find it hard to understand how sitting there on your own in your head, watching your thoughts, ever equates to you then building awareness and improving your mind. I guess you're distancing yourself and starting to understand the true you by doing that, because you're seeing what's not you.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. All right.
Nice. We're getting somewhere in this podcast.
just talking it through helps.
Yeah, honestly.
I think one of the main problem I have is when I meditate, I think about not thinking.
Yeah, that's not the thing.
Yeah, it's really, no, I can't help it. It's like, because I know I have to be this observer.
Yeah.
But I keep on getting drawn into the thoughts, and me being the thoughts. So to not be the thoughts, I'm like, all right, you just can't think, because you can't be the thoughts. Like trying too hard.
Yeah, brain just explodes.
Yeah. And then after a period of trying not to think, I just get lost in a wave of thinking, and I go, oh crap.
Yeah, but the oh crap part is like the part that's meditation.
Mm.
That's the whole goal of meditation. It's just going, oh crap. Who am I?
Why the hell are you thinking about burgers, man?
Yeah. No, literally, like, and don't like be angry at yourself for doing that.
Yeah.
Just like go like, oh, I did that. Okay,
Yeah.
back to my breathing.
Yeah. So I guess that is you exercising that awareness then.
Yeah, that's like building that muscle of awareness.
So you just need to work out your brain every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it a good workout. Do some bicep curls.
Yeah.
Bench press. Yeah.
No, I'm just going to imagine doing fucking bench press every morning.
Yeah,
lifting some brains on either
I mean,
end of
that
the
can
bar.
work. Like, just close your eyes and just like 1, 2, 3.
Imagine
Come on, one more.
Imagine selling that as your own form of meditation. I reckon you'd actually get a fair few people who play along and try it,
good.
and you get some comments like, "Oh man, it's helping me out a lot. I've been trying it for 3 months." You're like, "My God, you spent 3 months?
You idiot!
Telling to do bench press in your head? Fucking do." But that's what I always question, just meditation in general. If that's the case, where you just like sat there, just thinking. That's it.
Yeah. No, I mean it is, in some respects, but you also need to be active in like everyday life as well.
Mm.
And like, don't just see it as like 10 minutes where you just sit down and think about stuff.
That's it for the day.
Then you're like, oh yeah, I'm meditating, I'm on the spiritual journey, man.
Yeah, and then just proceed to go do just loads of crappy unconscious stuff.
Then go out and party and like just
Yeah.
be. I mean, you can go out and party, but like it's just like embracing that experience and just kind of like. I feel like you can be spiritual anywhere, and like have that meditative state of mind when doing anything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, your head goes leapy whenever we're at an event. Like you talk some way too deep stuff. We're at an event and I just want to dance.
Oh yeah.
You're like arm over shoulder, a little bit sweaty. Like, Matt, I gotta tell you something. All right, I just had some crazy ass fun that we need to go through right now. Like, at every event we've ever been to, like Berlin, Manchester,
yeah,
they're just chatting.
That was New Year's Eve. I came to this mad realization that I just kind of experienced the bloody chaos and order in the yin and yang in the bloody club, and I was like, whoa man, this is so cool.
I gotta tell everybody.
I gotta tell everybody about this. How does nobody know about this thing?
I remember Jack coming over to me, just putting his hand over his shoulder going, Matt, Joel's on the loose, like I've just been talking to him for about half an hour. I don't even know about what.
He just keeps on talking. He's just talking some rubbish, man.
Oh, it's good to question. Just not when I'm trying to boogie, like that's my moment.
Yeah. No, there is something very spiritual about dancing.
Yeah.
I think so. God, that's funny.
No, I feel like I've learnt quite a bit, to be fair though, about just in general. Like I've learnt so much now just about talking it through.
Yeah.
And knowing, I feel like I can go forward now with a bit of awareness and understanding of what meditation's about and what kind of mindfulness I'd want to bring about.
Honestly, yeah. And it's a long journey, but just starting and taking the right steps and starting to see meditation for what it actually is, and that being actually expanding your mind and kind of like looking deeply into yourself, not just doing it because like everybody on Instagram are doing it, and like you saw like a self-improvement video on YouTube. It's about actually truly wanting that growth yourself, and wanting to dig deeper and want to actually live your life, not just doing it for the clout or like to be woke.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's so many different ways you could do it and want to do it for just targets and goals and to impress people, and it's so important just to do it for yourself. I feel like that's the stage right now where I need to just go on my own, and
it's a personal experience, but like when you just have to get on that road yourself and start just doing it, like get consistent doing it, and just try and just experience yourself and just be aware. Don't get angry at yourself, just experience.
Yeah, and talking it through like this definitely helps.
Oh yeah, like
actually share the experience.
For sure.
And because it does get lonely as well, so it's nice to have like a bit of a push in the back and know you've got a bit of support as well.
I mean, it's so good because I feel like we're both kind of on the same level almost with this kind of spiritual kind of experience. We're both kind of like just getting into it. Yeah. But I feel like we both kind of, even though it's such like a personal experience, we can both just kind of run things back off each other because we are both like similar places in our lives.
Yeah, you can help actually like counteract the mind, because I feel like it tries to bring you back a lot. Actually just put it into perspective and keep on going.
And be like a trigger for ourselves. And each
really
other.
Good.
Yeah. So that was our first ever podcast. Me and Matt talking about mindfulness and consciousness and everything in between.
And we only had one pee break. Pretty good.
Not everything in between, actually. We've got so much more to talk about. And it's just like such a constant experience. Like, we're just changing all the time. And like that's what we want to do with this podcast. We want to just grow and carry on just evolving ourselves, and like reflecting that onto you, like the listener, and kind of like hoping we can be on this journey together.
Yeah, we just want to instigate conversation and be critical. Like, I want to just start opening up my mind and instigating conversation to the point where we're all learning and all improving. Yeah.
We want to learn from all of you as well, so if you have any experience like meditating, or like if you have any like thoughts on the talking points that we've had today, it'd be great to just reach out, like put down in the comment section, like just message us directly and just like talk about stuff, because that's what it's about. This, like, that's why we're doing this. We want to start a conversation, start a community, and just have like a nice space where we can come together and like have like active participation in all these beautiful, amazing things in this world, and like not just like lethargically listen to a podcast. Like, I want you to be trying all the things that we've been talking about, and we want you to be talking back to us and telling us things that we can do better, especially with the podcast side of things. Like, we don't have a clue what we're doing.
Well, I'd love everything we say to just be rinsed, so we can actually like
just rinse us. Like that's what we need, because we're in this to grow, and we're going to be doing
any new topics, anything, any kind of education point, just for us to get started on and bite our teeth into. Anything can be suggested.
For sure. Alright, so that's the end of the podcast. Like the video. Sorry there's no camera. Like that went ages ago. But
hopefully we've got some nice pictures going up.
There'll be some nice pictures of, I don't know, just like a squirrel and just random stuff.
Monkey.
Yeah, but we're going to wrap it up now.
Yeah,
Right.
chatting crap too much.
Like, subscribe, press the bell button, whatever all the YouTubers say.
All that beautiful stuff.
All that beautiful stuff. And we'll see you again soon.
We did a podcast.
Whoa, we made a podcast! Woo! Mama made it!
Fucking God!
Hello there.
Oh, nice.
This is just us testing.
Because we
Testing.
fucked up the audio, man.
Oh! What are we doing? If you got through to the end of this video, you are an absolute legend. Thank you for bearing with the audio technical difficulties that we've had. And make sure to like and subscribe and comment and do all that good stuff. And if you know anybody that would like this podcast and like to listen to what we're talking about, yeah, please share it with them, get the word out. And yeah, see you next time.